I'm Gautam. I'm the founder of GoHash Travel Private Limited. That's our registered name. Today, I am here to talk to you about Xafari. It is a brand that we want to build, and it's a brand and platform that concentrates on bringing rural Indian tourism to the fore. But just before I go into the business aspects of things, I want to introduce two very interesting people to all of you, right? Uh, these are people probably whom we meet day to day or on our travels. So the first one is Arya. I think all of us here are probably more introduced to this personality because we see them every day in our workspace and in Bangalore and the city that we live in. A 25-year-old urban dweller, like a lot of us, has a very hectic work week. At the end of the week, looks at a getaway. It could be a day trip, it could be a couple of days, or anything like that, right? For this person, discovering, exploring is equal to finding oneself, right? When they actually do this travel. So Arya is such a kind of person, and this brings about a sense of achievement and pride. So you look at a person like Arya sharing stuff on Instagram, on Facebook, and things like that of all of their achievements, be it a trek, be it at the top of a peak, and all of these things, right? So that is the area we already know. Now, I want to introduce you to another more interesting person, and this is my inspiration, or this is Xafari's inspiration, actually, right? So this is Lakshmi Amma, a very special person. She's a 57-year-old. She has a thatched roof eatery, as you can see in the picture. She makes wood fire dosas, fresh batter obviously is not fresh the previous day and it's fermented, fresh chutneys every day, and amazing food, right? Not only that, she has run this establishment since 40 years. Started with her parents. After their time, she's taken this upon herself. Uh, it's an unnamed establishment. She's absolutely proud of what she does. And the chance that a person like Arya, who walks in to her establishment, she's ready to share stories. Like she talks about local folklore, she talks about village stories, she talks about literally everything while just serving you those dosas. And this is personal experience. And like I said, this is my inspiration. I was Arya 5 years back, right? So that is where this inspiration comes from. Now, let's get into what Arya is. Arya is what we call today the urban centennial. So we are not even talking about millennials here. We are talking about centennials or Gen Z. These are people who want to go out there and explore, realize their inner selves, discover, explore, have different new experiences. Um, and obviously, Lakshmi Mema is a person who loves to share her stories and talk to her people, right? Talk to the customers who come in. Now, here we come to the problem. Small tourism businesses in India are grossly, I'm sorry, I'm using the word grossly, are grossly underrepresented or unrepresented and did not have a platform to showcase themselves. And when I say did here, that's where Xafari came in, and we've been in operations for a couple of months now. Second thing is the urban centennial is underinformed about these gems that rural India has to offer. And there are lakhs of them across the country, right? Arya is 10% of the country. Lakshmi Amma is the remaining, I won't say 90%, but out of that 90%, a good 50% who can potentially cater to an Arya who is a traveler. Now, what we give to our travelers is a treasure trove of rural experiences, right? So just going back a little bit about Arya and Lakshmima, now people like Arya, who are the urban centennials, are travelers, they chance upon these gems by chance, right? They just travel just like I did. I was looking for a kamat or something like that, or a coffee day to have breakfast, but I chanced upon Lakshmi Amma's shop. Uh, Now it happened by chance, but with Xafari, we want it to happen by design, right? We want explorers to go out there and find people like this, find gems like this, talk to them, interact with them, and have great, amazing rural experiences. Um, so what we do is not just a restaurant or a homestay or anything like this. We cover 360 degrees of travel because we want our travelers to have our app as a single stop solution. It's a DIY app. We are not into packages. We are not into any of this thing. We are a DIY app for the new centennial who loves to explore and discover by themselves. Um, Going on, what do we give to our partners and what do we give to our travelers? First thing, the partners who are Lakshmi Amma or one of these, right? So all of these Ammas, Bhaias, Ajis, who we call them fondly, today they do not have a platform to represent themselves. What we give is we give them a dedicated space within our platform. We list them on our maps. We build their story more importantly as to why, as you can see in the example here, as to why are they doing this business? Is it for livelihood? Is it for passion? Is it for it can be whatever, right? And we want to bring that story. We want to bring about more about the why rather than the what and how. It's more about the why. So we do that. Not only do we give them a dedicated page, we also give them space on our homepage for selected days in a week. If you would have to do that with another, large establishment, you'll probably be paying lakhs a month to do that. But we offer them that space so that they can showcase themselves in our platform, at least in the homepage. Second thing, now just with these partners, right? An Arya is not going to go and look at all of them. An Arya is an explorer. Arya is a discoverer. So an Arya needs places to visit, places to explore, unconventional, the offbeat, right? And that is where Xafari comes in as far as the travelers are concerned. We have carefully selected POIs. We have exploration. We have explorers right now as we speak. I mean, as when I say right now, not literally, but during the day, we have people who are exploring for us. We have a 25-step process to select POIs, right from identification to touch upon the fact that Sumit was talking earlier about, is it clean? Is it safe? Is it neat? We have a 25-step process to identify all of this. And we give information to the Aryas of the world. And we tell them not just basic information, we give them information about folklore, legend, and local stories. Very, very interesting stories. For example, we have a lake in Chikmagalur, which is a very, very small and offbeat lake. It so happened that the locals have a folklore that, one day a farmer, woke up in the morning and said, somebody came in my dream and said, build this lake and you will not have any water problems or farming problems for the next 100 years. And the entire community did this, and that lake came up, and till today, that lake still stands, and it helps the farmers even today. So this is the kind of stories that we bring to the Aryas and want the Aryas to explore. So as you can see at the bottom, we are present on Google Play, we are present on the App Store, and we are present. We have our own website as well, where you can see all of this. And what we are also working on is on augmented and virtual reality. So augmented reality, pretty much going back to, I remembered Chennakeshwar, he was just presenting earlier, but you can see here is the Belur Chennakeshwar temple, which we're already working on a sample on augmented reality. Basically, when you go, you just open a Xafari app, you're at the point of interest, you open it, you can, at the touch of a button, you can see specifically if there's a statue there, click that, see what that statue means, and just look at, the story behind that specific inscription or the statue or even that structure. And we are also preparing ourselves if in case a fourth wave of COVID comes, with the same thing, you use one of these devices, put your phone in here, and you'll be able to see the same Belur Chennakeshwar temple at the safety of your home. So these are the stuff that we're coming up with. Of course, we have other features. I am a little stuck for time to explain those. We have mostly built this for achievers. People can go check in at different POIs, which is all location restricted, right? They can share it on social media. They can take a photo, etc. Now, with that said, that brings me nicely into the competition part of it. Yes, we have different segments, different competitors. In the travel, in the stay segment, we have the Make My Trips, the Go Ivy Goes, the Oyos of the world. In the restaurant segment, obviously, there's nobody who's touched the rural space. We are the first ones to do it. In handicrafts, in arts and crafts, we are the first ones to do it. And more importantly, what are we trying to develop here? The Arya person that I spoke to you about, who is a person who is willing to explore, and connect to the Lakshmi Ammas and the Ajis and the Bayas of the world. We want to create an identity for them, right? We want to create a sense of belonging. That's something that never changes in humans, right? And that is what we call as Xafarians. This is a registered trademark for us. And we want our urban centennials to go explore, discover by themselves, and proudly call themselves Xafarians. So a Xafarian is an achiever, an explorer, and most importantly, a responsible traveler. So that is on the story and what Xafari is about and what we want to create.